Before we get into today's video, I want to let you guys know if you're going to training camp tomorrow, as tomorrow's back together day and the first day that fans are allowed to go to training camp, it has been moved up an hour, so it is now going to be at 8 a.m., meaning that the parking open to the public is also going to be opening up an hour earlier than usual due to the heat. So if you guys are planning on going to training camp, going to Ashburn tomorrow, make sure you guys are there earlier than expected due to the heat. Stay hydrated, stay comfortable, and stay safe while you're going to watch the fellas work at training camp.
The explosion on the cut, the assignment, was the read correct, and having Anthony here is a really big deal, you know, from a running back standpoint. He's got so much experience, can give the insight to the players to absolutely get them right, but I think it's the violence of the cuts, you know, that he can get his shoulders square and get downhill fast.
You have a little bit of Alvin Kamara in you. I don't know if you agree with me, but do you see that? Do you feel that?
I love how he played. Like he
really okay.
Man, very fluid, very smooth. He can.
So that's a compliment for me.
No, definitely is. Like he an all around back. I mean, I know I got a lot of work to do to get to the point that he's at now, but he's definitely one of my favorites.
So I don't know if I've seen this much hype around a 7th round pick maybe since Cam Curl. And even Cam Curl wasn't this highly thought of coming out of the draft. But a guy like Bill, a.k.a. Jacory Croskey Merritt, has been talked about by this coaching staff and this fan base in such high regard. And through the first 3 days of training camp, he's lived up to it. Let's talk about it.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career, and he's already milking injuries? Like...
Stop saying my name, you dick round bastard. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's low beginner, she's confident.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have the Washington Commanders video, and in today's video I'm coming on here with a video where we're going to be talking about Jacory Croskey Merritt and also talking about some other players that I felt like stood out in the first 3 days of Washington Commanders training camp. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. We're on the road to 11,000 subscribers, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you can reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Also subscribe to 4th and 1 and the Burgundy Breakdown. Those links to this channels are down below in the description. Thank you so much. Let's get straight to it. So first things first, the Washington Commanders have a day off. As I mentioned earlier, they are back on the practice field tomorrow for the first time in front of fans. So please go out there safe, be early, as it is pushed up an hour due to the heat. Tomorrow you should be expected to see this guy Jacory Croskey Merritt live and in color, and I know a lot of you all are excited about that because he's a person that has drawn a lot of attention due to the fact that the Washington Commanders run game has been so piss poor over the last couple of seasons in terms of excitement, agility, burst, just having that overall balance to the position, as Dan Quinn likes to say and says about Jacory Croskey Merritt. He brings all that and some more. So he's going to get a lot of opportunities when it comes to getting the opportunity to show if he can in fact be the starting running back for this team.
What do you think you bring to a Washington backfield?
Just being explosive, being different with the football, and just running different. I feel like, well, explosive, that's the main thing, but just me being different with the football, me wanting to score and just being aggressive.
Obviously, they're not going to just give it to him. Obviously, Brian Robinson at this point is a guy that is the starter. But when you think of a violent cutter and the violence he plays with, like Dan Quinn alluded to yesterday in his press conference. You think Adrian Peterson, right? At least here in Washington, that's the last time that we've truly had a running back of that kind of caliber. Maybe Alfred Morris, right? I'm not really sure how you think about it. Maybe Darius Geis could have been that guy if he didn't get hurt. But for the most part, we have not had no guy that just runs downhill, makes one cut, go and make something happen, right? We've always had these backs in Brian Robinson's case that's stuttering, that's looking for a lane, second guessing themselves. Same with like Fat Rob and what was my man name? Dang, I forget his name. He was my guy though. He ended up being on special teams at some point. Matt Jones, there you go. Like these guys at the running back position has been pretty, finessey and not really violent in terms of a guy like Bill. And I think that's going to bode well for this running game, because not only are we getting a guy with some type of burst and speed that can hit the hole and make a decision and go, we're getting a guy that is going to allow this offense to have some physicality. Remember, Brian Robinson last year, and I always go back to this Week 6 game, he was the only one, in my opinion, that truly had some balance to his name and physicality to his name. And that's why we lost to a team like the Ravens, because he did not play. I think the more violent, the more physical you are, this is a combatic sport, so you need that one. The more guys you have, especially against a team like Baltimore, is going to help you out very, very well. So I love what I'm hearing from him. We'll see how he does with pads on. We'll see if he is able to continue to make that translate and transition once we actually are able to, see him get hit, and really how does he do through contact, because again, running back is one of the few positions where you're actually getting hit every single play, right? Like the goal is to hit you, right? So every play, how is he doing that, right? And how is he protecting the football? That's the most important thing for me. Does he have a fumbling issue? Now on tape and on film and looking at his history, I didn't really see no alarming note about that specifically, but this is a whole different level. He did in fact miss last year's season due to the whole eligibility rule, so that's the biggest reason why he's here. And I think the reason why Dan Quinn is so excited about him is because they truly feel like they got a diamond in the rough. He wasn't supposed to be in the 7th round, so, according to them and how they view it, like this was not supposed to happen. He was supposed to be a 3rd, 4th round pick and be a part of this crop of running backs that went early and deep into this draft, and we were able to find Jacory, Croskey, Merritt in the process. So I'm super ecstatic and stoked about this. You guys know I'm a big Bill fan. Probably not as big as my man Z, you know what I'm saying, from Reedy and Z. He loves Bill. My man's about to get a custom jersey that say Bill on the back. He loves Jacory, Croskey, Merritt. But I told y'all, like, when we signed him, or drafted him I should say, go back to the archives of my channel, I said he gives me Antonio Gibson vibes, right? Like he's a bigger kind of back, not like super big in terms of like Brian Robinson size, but he's like a bigger back, but he's more of a speedy finesse, can withstand some hits. It looks like he delivers punishment as well, and he also can catch. The thing with Antonio Gibson was, remember, he was a receiver coming out of Memphis, and Jacory is kind of the opposite, right? He's a running back that can pass catch out of the backfield. AG was running back in the NFL playing as a receiver. Like he was a receiver first. So I think his ceiling is much higher than one Antonio Gibson, but that's the kind of vibes that I get from JCM. And that's not bad, because again, Antonio Gibson, no, he's not really much up to nothing these days in New England, but that rookie AG was really good. Before the turf toe, AG was like that, right? Like, so it's going to be fun to see what he looks like throughout the rest of the training camp preseason. I think he's going to be one of the guys that a lot of people, talk about the most. Now, moving on to a couple of other guys I want to talk about is Jacory Brooks, right? Jacory Brooks is a guy that simply, I think, has blown away his training camp thus far. Now, obviously, he's had some ups and downs, and we've only really covered the ups on here, but it's a part of the process. That's why I really haven't seen much or talked much about him dropping passes and whatnot, because he, at the end of the day, he is a rookie. He is an undrafted free agent. So it's not like the expectation was for him to come in here and just be perfect. And again, it's training camp. We'll see how it translates on field, in pads, in practice. Is he able to get off the line? Is he able to create the same type of separation? Is he still able to get open when the cornerbacks are able to truly get their hands on him and be physical at the line of scrimmage? That is going to be interesting to see. And that's why Monday, when I'm out there at training camp for the first time ever, never been to Ashburn in my life, don't know what's in Ashburn, I'm going to go out there and we're going to see. First time with pads, how is it going to be? A lot of the questions that we have are going to get answered. But I think there is something special about this guy that at worst case scenario, we got to find a way to keep him on the practice squad. Now, I think there's a legit chance he can make the 6th receiver spot. Truly. I mean, this is the only beauty thing about Terry McLaurin being out. Of course, you don't want Terry McLaurin out, but the beauty of him being out is the fact that he is opening up other opportunities for guys like Jacory, Chris Moore, KJ Osborne, right? These guys that typically wouldn't get these opportunities with the ones they're getting these opportunities. And who are they going to? They're going to JB, Jacory Brooks. Like, it's something there that is interesting to keep an eye on. He's had a solid start to the first 3 days of camp. And the next thing for him is to see how he looks with the pads on. Next guy for me is another young guy, rookie, Trey Amos, man. Oh my God. How good is he? And I know it's only training camp, right? Like, it's so hard not to get excited about him, though, because when you expect something to actually happen and it's happening and it's manifesting its way out in front of you, it is crazy. Because when I turned on his film for the very first time, I immediately said, man, this dude is a definition of a NFC East cornerback. This is exactly what Dan Quinn needs. When you got CeeDee Lamb, when you got Malik Neighbors, when you got A.J. Brown, when you got George Pickens, Devonta Smith, when you got this much talent in the division, this is what you needed. And since the spring, since Trey Amos has stepped foot in Washington, in Ashburn, he has blown the media away with his talent. This guy can come in and quickly be the new Mikey Sammerstill. He can legitly win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I don't think people are having that conversation enough. Maybe because, they're obviously it's still off season, but he has a legit chance to do that. If he can stay healthy, if he can go out there and perform, he can be one of the best corners in this game. He has that potential.
I like going against everybody, man. I can't even lie. Like, whoever line up against me is just like, just being in love of the game and everything. So, yeah, I just love guarding any receiver at any day. Just a me versus me, that dog mentality, and just going hard every day, no matter who's in front of me, and just having that confidence, and just having that mindset where no one catch the ball on you, not being hard on yourself, but just understanding that's your job. You gotta do what you have to do.
And I've seen a lot of people draw comparisons to Quinyon Mitchell and what Quinyon did last year. Quinyon's a dog, without a doubt. So to be kind of in that stratosphere, to be on that kind of pedestal and that level potentially, then that's great for Trey. And the thing that I think I love the most about him, as he had an interception yesterday, was he's able to be physical, but not to the point where it's alarming the refs and throwing pass interference. He's able to be physical, use his hands, stay in your hip pocket. Even when I think it was Luke McCaffrey who had a nice catch on him, he was right there. Just Luke McCaffrey put on some pounds this offseason, put on some muscle, and was able to out-strengthen him and make the catch. But he was right there. It's almost like a glove. It's almost like a glove. He's always there, whether it's a pick, whether it's a incompletion, whether it's an actual catch for the receiver off at the side of the ball. He is there. I'm telling you, man, this guy, for me, I get excited just talking about it. Right? I get stuck talking about it because I think this guy can be something special, man. I really do. And it's crazy how this DB room potentially did a 180. Now, of course, it's potential because, again, we still have to see what Marshawn Lattimore looks like back in game speed. We got to see what Tre'Davious Amos looks like right out there, even though he's a rookie. Mikey Samuels, can he build off a year or two? Right? Those starting three, and obviously Jonathan Jones, veteran guy. But we got to see it first. But the potential of this DB room being now a strong suit of this team, it's kind of insane to me that we don't have to deal with Emmanuel Forbes, Benjamin St. Juste, and Michael Davis anymore, right? Like, we don't have to deal with William Jacksons anymore, guys. Like, this has the opportunity to be great. And I cannot wait to see Trey out there performing, because I think he's going to be an absolute dog. Next guy is Mikey Samuelsdale. I mean, this goes without saying, right? Like, Mikey Samuelsdale is a beast. Like, when I talk about a guy that has what it takes to be an all-pro, that's who exactly I'm talking about here. One of the best inside cornerbacks in the game, potential-wise, he has it. And this is no jazz. You've seen what he did last year in the postseason. You've seen what he was able to do last year against A.J. Brown. You've seen what he was able to do in training camp. Yesterday, he literally blew training camp up, having an interception, having a pass breakup, blowing up a screen. Like, this dude is all over the field. And it's crazy how good he is already. I'll be lying to you if I said to you, I expected this out of Mikey Samuelsdale. I truly didn't. To come in and to get high praises from your head coach on the comparisons of Jaden Daniels, where he said in the case of normal rookies and second-year players, they wait to the offseason to fix their issues from their rookie year. DQ said, no. With Jaden and Mikey, they fixed it on the spot in season. And that's why you were able to see the progression that they had throughout the year, because they was able to somewhat fix it on spot. And to have that kind of aspect already down as a second-year guy, it's insane, man. It truly is, because at this rate you don't typically see that, especially not out of a mid-round pick or early, second round to mid-round pick of Mikey Samuelsdale, right? You don't expect that. And he was able to do it. He was able to do it, man. And I don't think I'm telling you guys anything that you don't know already in terms of the dominance that he's brought to this defense and to this team. We know how good Frozone is. I love him, man. He's probably top 3 favorite commander right now. Terry 5 and Mikey top 3 for me. But I love him, dog. And for me, those are like just a couple of guys that I felt, stood out in training camp first 3 days. As training camp goes on, the list will get longer, obviously. But just for me, and Debo, I can't forget Debo Samuel, who seems to continue to silence the critics, right? I think Skylar Nelson, she reported, she said, if you call Debo Samuel fat or slow, you're sadly mistaken, and he's out on a mission to make you all eat those words, as he kicked off training camp with the grab, with the touchdown, literally first play of training camp, and he's continuing to stack the days. Looks happy, looks jolly, looks fresh, looks excited for this journey, and I am excited for it too. But let me know what you guys think about this video down below in the comments section. Who are some guys through the first 3 days of training camp that stood out to you? Obviously none bigger than, in my opinion, Jacory Croskey Merritt, as he's the headline of this video, and Dan Quinn absolutely loves him and speaks highly of him. But let me know yours down below if I didn't mention who you think had a good day through the first 3 days. As always, it's me and boy Juan Gotti. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. We're on the road to 11,000 subscribers, so it'd be greatly appreciated if you can reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. You have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Peace.
Never gave a fuck. Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a line.